What's up, everybody? This is Josh here with Basement Level Magic, and we are in our fourth match with our Jaceless four-color rally deck. We've got a hand here. It's not the greatest. We will be able to get our mana online. It's kind of a slow hand, though. I'm gonna go ahead and keep. I'm not quite sure whether it's more important to make sure that you have your mana online or that you have something more exciting to do. The nice thing is Sidisi's Faithful will be able to reset at least one of our opponent's plays because it looks like he's probably playing like a Hardened Scales style of deck. You don't really see anybody play Servant of the Scale unless it's Hardened Scales. So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully we don't draw another land. There we go. Alright, so I think I go ahead and do the Windswept Heath, grab a Forest, and then play our Cutthroat. And then this way, next turn we'll be able to play the Catacomb Sifter. Alright, so Jamoka's Command. And we have lots of lands. Way too many. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the Prairie Stream now. We'll have all of our colors of mana online. Undergrowth Champion is not something that I'm too worried about because we do have Sidisi's Faithful. So we'll be able to put that back in his hand. And actually, a Collected Company is a pretty good draw too. We can grab a Sunken Hollow. This does not have Trample. So I think I just go ahead and do the Sidisi's Faithful. Put the Undergrowth Champion back in his hand. We can attack in with the Catacomb Sifter. And then actually hold up Collected Company. And we definitely don't need no more lands. I could see a Hardened Scales deck being a somewhat difficult matchup, just because they can get out of control pretty quickly, especially if they get like a Mana Gorge or Hydra online early. Because you don't have a lot of ways to remove anything in this deck. You've got the Sidisi's Faithful, which is handy, but that's kind of difficult to plan on using that all the time. So since I'm going to sack this Scion anyway, I'm just going to block. And then we'll do Collected Company now. No need to take additional damage. And we are okay with getting an Elvish Visionary because we could use some additional cards here. All right, so we have a pretty good collected company here. Catacomb Sifter is just going to give us a way to go wide and be able to attack in. Sidisi's Faithful would be a way to get that Undergrowth Champion off of us again. Elvish Visionary is just a way to get some card advantage. So some real good choices. I think Sidisi's Faithful is certainly one of the cards that I want. And then it's just a matter of between Elvish Visionary and Catacomb Sifter, I feel. I think we go with the Sifter. I suppose I probably could have just gone ahead and timed it where I could do make the 1/1 Scion token and then keep the 4/4 out there. Although next turn we'll be able to attack in if we want. Hopefully we're just frustrating our opponent, not being able to stick that Undergrowth Champion. He may have another Jamoka's Command though. Okay, so he did have a Jamoka's Command and he used it on our Catacomb Sifter. Zulaport Cutthroat is one of our better cards, although right now it's going to be kind of weak. I just feel like that's going to be one of the ways that we really want to take advantage of this deck versus his. Being able to flood the board, and yeah, even if we lose the Cutthroat, I think it's pretty important to have it either on the board or in the graveyard for any Rally the Ancestors that we may get. So I'm still looking to put the Undergrowth Champion in his hand over the Servant of the Scale. We're going to get some scries out of this. Alright, so we'll be able to attack in. And I do want to be able to play a land. We don't need the double white just yet. So I'll play the... And actually, we could do the Flooded Strand and grab a Canopy Vista, though, too. I could understand holding the Scion back, but I feel like we need to try to get as much damage as we can right now. Yeah, Mana Gorger Hydra is definitely one of the more difficult cards for us to deal with. We do get to attack in with the Catacomb Sifter here. And actually, I probably should have played out the Cutthroat, just in case he has some kind of trick. Then we could have just done a 2 life drain rather than 1 if he is able to kill it. Alright, but we got lucky and he didn't. Yeah, that Mana Gorger Hydra is going to get out of control pretty quick, I'm sure. And actually, it was a really good idea not playing the Cutthroat. I almost forgot. Because if we had played the Cutthroat pre-combat last turn, we wouldn't have been able to get in with the Catacomb Sifter. So that was actually the right move, playing the Cutthroat after combat. Jeez, that Hydra just gets out of control with the Hardened Scales. This could be one of those matchups where we want to bring in a Murderous Cut, because these are going to be really difficult cards for us to deal with. Alright, so he's looking to do 8 damage to us. We could get him down to 8 by just chumping with the Scion. But then that leaves us at 7. It doesn't really matter. Alright, it leaves us at 3. But then we'll gain 2 life. I don't think this is going to change a whole lot of stuff, but we don't need the mana. And it'll gain us 2 life, get us a Scry. And we needed a rally right there, so that's a pretty important draw. Unfortunately, we don't have ways to sack other than, I guess, the 2 Sidisi's Faithful will both go. And we'll have another Zulaport Cutthroat. Yeah, this might work. Okay. Yeah, this should work, actually. Finding that rally right there was the key part to it. Because we'll also be able to attack in some, even if we have to. So we want to return blockers. So many triggers. Yeah, and now with us having a Scion token, we'll just be able to win with the Zulaport Cutthroats. So he does play Den Protector. Alright, and now we can just go ahead and sacrifice this. And I'm just going to put the Zulaport Cutthroats on top because I want to have it automatically stack for us there. Alright, so I could definitely see wanting Murderous Cut in this matchup. Just because those big dumb green guys are kind of difficult to deal with. Let's take out one Taigam Scheming, one Collected Company. Sidisi's Faithful was great for us there. And I think it's between another Taigam Scheming or a Collected Company as our other cuts. Otherwise, maybe we just go 2 Murderous Cuts. Because we still, I mean, we need the combo to win. He's going to be able to flood the board with bigger creatures than us. I mean, the other thing is, yeah, we bring in the other Murderous Cut. Silk Wrap would actually be pretty decent against him as well. But he's playing Dromoka's Command, so that's actually not a very good option. I could see possibly bringing in something like a Jedi Offshoot, but it just doesn't really help in the long run. Whereas I think Murderous Cut is probably a better option for us. Yeah, maybe I cut another Collected Company and do the Murderous Cut. We need to have ways to get rid of those big dumb green guys. I feel like we went pretty fast that last round, but we still ended up using over 8 minutes. This is definitely a keep, I think. Elvish Visionary on turn 2, I think, is one of the most important cards you can do. I feel like when I have played against it, it's always pretty impressive. You know, it's nothing exciting, but it's just getting you that extra card. It's able to take a block. You know, if it goes to the graveyard, that's fine. Alright, so here, let's go grab a Swamp. Alright, and then next turn we can do the Flood Strand, go grab our Prairie Stream. We will have all of our mana online. And we can play out something like a Grim Haruspex. Playing out Nantuko Husk early is probably okay as well. It doesn't really change a lot though. Avatar of the Resolute is going to be a tough card for us. We do have the Sidisi's Faithful and Murderous Cuts, so we've got ways to deal with it. And actually, I'm just going to go ahead and trade our Visionary. He's going to make a bigger Avatar, but we could actually Murderous Cut it right now. Just to try to slow him up. Or we could do Sidisi's Faithful, return it to his hand. But then if we don't really get to do anything else this turn. Yeah, I think I just want to get rid of it. Alright, and an Undergrowth Champion, that he's going to pump pretty quick here. And we could just go ahead and cut that too if we wanted to. But I think I want to Sidisi's Faithful that one. Return it to his hand. And then just play something like a... Oh, actually, let's play Grim Haruspex first. Yeah, then we can do Sidisi's Faithful, draw a card, return this to his hand. Alright, so we've got all of our removal online now. Brought in 3 Murderous Cuts, and we will have drawn all of them in our first 16 cards. Yeah, this Undergrowth Champion, he's going to get huge real quick. But we have outright removal for it. I can see maybe a Dromoka's Command coming soon. Alright, so we'll go ahead and do it Evolving Wilds, because that'll actually be, it's like having extra mana, because we'll be able to use it for the Murderous Cuts. And then we could actually even do a Taigam Scheming right now, because we're going to be able to rally. Yeah, so let's see what we get here. We're going to load up this graveyard. Alright, so we'll definitely put the land there. Okay, and actually we could do the Nantuko Husk, Grim Haruspex, and Catacomb Sifter, because next turn we can go ahead and do Rally. Put the Collected Company on top. And now I could easily see him doing like a Dromoka's Command in response here. To kill our Haruspex. Okay, and he did do that. But we've got him down to 0 cards on the battlefield also. Oh, geez. You don't see Shaman of the Great Hunt very often. But that actually makes some sense in a counter deck. Alright, so we could just go ahead and do a Collected Company. Still holding up a Murderous Cut. Because one thing that we actually want is to be able to play, or be able to have some Zulaport Cutthroats out there. Didn't get them though. Alright, a second Rally the Ancestors though is going to be pretty important, I think. And he's holding up mana like he might have Dromoka's Command. If he goes ahead and tries to do something like that, we do have the Murderous Cut. And I actually want to keep the Nantuko Husk out on the board, because I want to be able to attack in next turn. Alright, so another shaman. I'm just going to go ahead and try to do the Murderous Cut now. And we want to make sure to keep as many creatures in the graveyard as possible. And we'll just go ahead and block with the Visionary. We don't want him to be able to get another 1/1 counter. Alright, and that means he probably doesn't have the Dramoka's command, so we're pretty much open to do this rally right now. And we only have... Yeah, let's do this. So, going for 3. We actually don't really need to exploit because he's going to have haste anyway. And I could use that Sidisi's Faithful to get more damage through with the Nantuko Husk. Man, an extra land would have... Actually, we do have a land. Called a Scion. Yeah, so getting that Zulaport Cutthroat on the board before we do anything here is pretty good for us. Tagem Scheming is not what we want to do, because we don't have enough mana to be able to Tagem Scheming plus Rally the Ancestors. Not for 5 at least. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on the bottom. Alright, and all the triggers are going to come rolling in now. Because we can attack with the Husk. Alright, trigger, 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 drawn cards. I'm actually okay with getting another Sidisi's Faithful. I need to start setting up my auto yields. We don't really need a land. And so right now, we're going to end up... Yeah, I think we could just go ahead and try going all the way in. I almost want to land so that I can get rid of it. Alright, so let's go ahead and see if we can do the lethal damage here. Alright, sweet. So, there you go. That was 2 games won. We pretty much were dominating most of them. And we still had... I feel like 15 minutes for 2 games is a lot of time. So I'm still having issues with getting all these triggers down. But the deck is good. The deck is real good. The deck is fun. I think if I were playing it in real life, I'd probably be a little bit faster, just because I don't have to do the constant triggers. Whereas, you know, you're able to just say it a lot quicker. You know, +2, -2, and you know, get rid of this, add this card, scry to the bottom, whatever. But thanks for watching, guys. It's Josh here with Basement Level Magic, and let's go ahead and do one more after this. Later.